Welcome, everyone, and happy Cinco de Mayo. I don't know how you've marked Cinco de Mayo, if you have, but regardless, hope you've had a wonderful day, and thank you for joining us for Tuesday evening Vinyasa Yoga. So find a seat on your mat if you're not there already. Either cross-legged position or kneeling position would work too. So really any position that you feel comfortable in. And we'll begin by breathing a little bit and sharing breath with one another, all the others assembled virtually for this class. Let your eyes close down if the eyes haven't gently closed already. And just begin to find your breath. Tune into the natural rhythm of the breath. And by that, I mean follow the breath as it flows in and feel the breath circulate in the body, and then let the breath flow out. Try not to control the breath. We're just going to let the body breathe on its own and notice what that feels like. Notice the sensation of the body breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Just take about 5 more cycles of breath. Again, not trying to control it or shape the breath in any way. You don't need to make it longer or shorter. You don't need to emphasize the inhale or the exhale. Just follow the breath. See what it's like today. Get to know it a little bit better at this moment. 2 more cycles of breath. And 1 more, just tuning in to the natural rhythm of your breath for the last time. And then exhale, just let it go. Now draw a deep breath in. Keep breathing in. And then exhale. Do that again, a deep breath in. Keep it going. Keep it going. And exhale, let it go. 1 more time like that, a deep breath in. Keep breathing in. And let it go. Now let the natural rhythm of the breath return. With your eyes still closed, begin to scan the body from the tip of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Pause anywhere you feel any tension anywhere in the body. And remember, likely suspects are the jaw, the neck, shoulders, often the hips, and sometimes the hands and the feet. You may or may not feel tension there. You may feel tension elsewhere. You may feel no tension at all. Wow, that would be awesome. Just making your way slowly down to the tips of the toes. Just enjoy that journey of awareness, journey of your attention, moving through the body. And once you get to the tips of the toes, let your attention move back through the body to the very top of the head. Go nice and slow. There's no reason to rush. It's not a contest. No prize for whoever gets there first. Just note those spaces in the body, those areas, if there are any, where you feel tension. And we're going to come back to those in a moment. Keep your attention, your awareness moving up to the top of the head. Now let your awareness move all the way to the top of the head if you haven't gotten there already. And then pause for a moment and keep your attention right at the top of the head, right at the fontanelle, that little soft spot that babies have. Those bones fuse as we get older and the skull becomes rigid. Keep your awareness on what used to be your soft spot, the soft spot at the top of the head. Keep concentrating. And if you find your attention wavers, if it moves somewhere else to a thought or to some other part of the body, just gently move it back, nudging it back to the very top of the head, that soft spot that you had as a child. Now imagine that spot at the top of the head is becoming soft again, returning to the way you were as a baby. And now begin breathing in and out through the top of the head. We're going to take 5 breaths, breathing in and breathing out through the very top of your head. Do your best to keep your attention there. And imagine the breath flowing in and out through the top of the head. 2 more breaths through the top of the head. And 1 more. Now let it go. Bring your awareness to the breath flowing in and out through the nostrils. Try and breathe in equally through both nostrils and feel the coolness at the base of the nose as you breathe in. Now, with your eyes still gently closed, come back to the place in the body where you felt the most tension. Don't think about it. Just go to that place in your mind. And keep your awareness there. Now take a breath in. And then as you exhale, invite the tension in that spot that you're focused on to release. Let it flow out. Do that twice more. And 1 more time. Now, if you don't feel that spot is completely released, stay there and keep breathing. Or if you like, move to another area on your body where you felt tension when we did the body scan. Breathing in, awareness to the area of tension. Breathing out, let the tension go. Just invite it to flow out with the exhale. We're going to take 5 more breaths, releasing tension, letting it flow out with the exhale. Keep it going, breathing in and releasing tension on the exhale. 3 more. And twice more. Start feeling a little softer now. And 1 more time through. 1 more cycle of breath with the intention of releasing now all the tension you feel anywhere in your body. And let it go. Let's begin our movement on our back. So lay down on your mat, or as it lie down. Reach the heels to the sky, finding legs up the wall pose. And press the soles of the feet up and then relax the back of the shoulders. The palms are pressing gently into the mat. The fingers are spread a little bit wide. Now press the palms into the mat and reach the soles of the feet up so you're lengthening the lower body. Now bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. The feet are about hip width apart. Reach the arms up and overhead. Back of the hands touch down on the floor behind you. Now lift the hips. As you exhale, bring the hips down. Keep your arms straight and bring the palms down to the mat. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Lift the hips at the same time, pressing into the feet. And to exhale, bring the hands down and let the palms touch the mat. One more time. Inhale, reach up and overhead. Lift the hips. And then exhale and bring the hands down and let the hips land at the same time. Now bend the knees. Hug the knees into the body. Bring your forehead up towards your knees, rounding your spine forward. And then release the head to the mat. Reach the heels to the sky. Now bring the soles of the feet together. Bring your hands to the pinky toe side of the feet and let your knees come apart, opening up the hips a little bit here. Now relax the back of the shoulders. If you can, hug your heels closer to your pubic bone, opening the hips even more. And then release the hands from the feet. Straighten the legs, reach the heels to the sky. Now point the toes. Stretch the toes up towards the sky. Now pull the toes down toward your face. Press your heels up to the sky, feeling a little bit of a stretch moving into the back of the legs. Now happy baby pose. Bring the hands to the pinky toe side of the feet. Again, press the back of the shoulders down and pull the feet down. The soles of the feet, remember, are still reaching towards the sky. The soles of the feet are parallel to the mat if you can. Now relax the hips a little bit and see if you can pull the feet down a little bit more. Now transfer the left hand to the right foot. So both hands are on the right foot. Straighten the left leg. Hug that right knee into your armpit on the right side and then point the toes on the left foot. Slowly keep that left leg straight. Slowly bring the left leg all the way down so that the left heel touches the mat if you can. That's going to create a big stretch in the back of the right leg and into the gluteal muscle. And on an inhale, reach that left leg all the way back up. Good work. Let's do that one more time. Bring the left leg down. Try not to bend the left knee. Keep that left leg straight. Feel that big stretch in the hip and the back of the right leg. And inhale, reach that left leg all the way back up. Now back to happy baby pose with the left hand on the left foot, the right hand on the right foot. See if you can pull your tailbone down towards the mat. Now transfer the right hand to the left foot. So both hands are on the left foot. Straighten the right leg. Point the toes on the right foot. Stretch the toes up towards the sky and hug the left knee down into the left armpit if you're able to. Now keep that left foot pressing down. So you're pulling it down. Keep the right leg straight and slowly, just like we did on the other side, bring the right heel all the way down to the mat. Keep that right knee straight. Now feel that stretch in the back of the left leg and the hamstring muscles, maybe in the gluteal muscles on the left side. And inhale, and slowly bring that right leg all the way back up. Let's do that a second time. Right leg comes all the way down. Try and keep it straight. Keep pressing through the toes on that right foot. And then inhale and bring the right leg all the way back up. Now bend the right knee back to happy baby pose. Take a deep breath. Try and flatten out your back a little bit. Pull the tailbone down towards the mat. I know it's lifted up a little bit, but pull it down as much as you can. Now relax the back of the shoulders. And then we reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose. Palms come down, arms are straight, palms pressing gently into the mat. Relax the tailbone and the sacrum so they're pressing down towards the mat as well. Now bend the knees. Hug the knees into your chest and rock and roll very gently forward and back. So a little gentle massage to the spine. And eventually rock yourself to a seated position and find your legs crossed once you're in a seated position. Once you're there, reach your arms up and overhead. Palms come together, interlace the fingers now, and invert the palms. Stretch the palms up towards the sky. Take a deep breath. Now stretch up even more so you feel the stretch in the armpits. Now release the arms, bring them out to a T. Palms are facing down. Reach the hands apart from one another. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, reach the left hand up, and reach up as high as you can with that left hand, reaching through the fingertips. Now pull the left hand up and over and bend the right elbow a little bit and start to feel that nice stretch on the left side of the body. Now slowly rise back up. Core engages as you come up and bring the left hand down. Reach the right hand straight up. Reach up through the fingertips of that right hand. Keep pressing your right sitting bone down at the same time. Now reach the right hand up and over and begin to feel that nice stretch in the right side of the body. You can bend your left elbow as you do that. And on an inhale, slowly rise back up. Reach the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. Bring the hands to the back of the head and reach your elbows apart from one another so the chest is rising. Draw the navel in now. Take a deep breath. Then as you exhale, bring your elbows towards one another. The elbows can even touch. Chin comes to chest. Round the spine. Pull your head down. So you're pulling the head down towards the mat. On an inhale, rise back up. Feel the abdominal muscles engage. As you come up, reach the elbows apart, and then lift your chin up and look up towards the sky. Reach the elbows apart a little bit more. And then as you exhale, we're going to do that twice more. Elbows come together, round the spine, pulling the head down. Chin is on the chest. Inhale, rise back up. Elbows come apart. Lift the chin high. And one more time. Chin on chest, elbows come together, round the spine. Feel that stretch in the low back, and then inhale, rise back up. Reach the elbows apart, and then release the hands, reach them high. Then the arms come out to a T, flip the palms so they face down. Let's take a twist to the right, bringing the left hand to the right knee. Right hand is down behind you. Breathe in deeply. As you breathe in, draw your navel in, and then look a little bit more to the right. So you're deepening the twist. Do that again, breathing in, lengthening the spine, and exhaling and twisting, looking over the right shoulder. Let it go. Bring it back to center now. Reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale the hands to heart center. Press the palms together. Take a breath. Exhale. Inhale, reach back up. The arms come out to a T. Palms flip so they face down. We're going to take our twist to the left this time. Right hand to left knee. Left hand down behind you. As you breathe in, remember the body lengthens. The spine gets longer. And as you exhale, twist and look over the left shoulder. You can pull with that right hand on the left knee if you want. That'll help you twist a little bit more if you feel like twisting more deeply. Don't do it if it feels like too much of a strain. One more breath. And exhale, and just enjoy that beautiful twist and let it go. Come back to center. Reach the arms high. Exhale the hands to heart center. And then let's roll over the knees and come to table pose. We're going to flow through cow and cat now. Remember, in this pose, by the way, your toes can be untucked like this, or you can tuck the toes if you prefer. It's your option. But do make sure that the hands are right below the shoulders and that the knees are right below the hips. Now inhale, dropping your belly, lift your chin, and then exhale into cat pose. Press the hands into the mat. Press the middle of the back towards the sky into cat pose. Do that again. Inhale to cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, and exhale to cat pose, pressing the hands into the mat. Feel that nice stretch in the back. Imagine you're a cat. Continue that 4 more times. Inhaling to cow and exhaling to cat. Visualize the spine as it bends and flexes, rounding and arching. Just enjoy the flow. If you haven't already, feel free to let your eyes close down through this flow so that you can bring your awareness to the spine and let go of all the external stimuli, whatever may be going on in the room around you. Try and let that go. Become more and more aware. We're going to go through this 2 more times. More and more aware of the spine and how you're moving the spine in this flow between cow and cat. 1 more time through. Inhaling to cow. Big exhale to cat. Now come to cat and press your hands into the mat. Draw your navel up towards your spine and make an effort to move your forehead closer to your thighs. And then let it go. Come back to center. Walk the hands forward just a little bit, about 2 inches is all. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you feel a nice stretch in the skin of the palm. Now press your hips to the left. Somebody emailed me the other day. I had done this in a class a couple of weeks ago saying they love this stretch. They've never felt it. And then the hips move to the right. Press into that left hand as you press the hips to the right. It does give you a great stretch in the outer part of the hips. And then to the left. Then you can just start moving side to side if you like. Make sure you press into the opposite hand so you keep that hand on the mat. Try and keep your elbows straight. We're going to go through it one more time on each side so you're not bending the elbows and you're keeping the spine relatively long. Now bring it back to center. Now walk the hands forward about 3 more inches so the hands are well forward of the shoulders. Press the hands into the mat. Now make sure your spine is nice and long. Take a deep breath. Now press back towards child's pose. You're not going to get your hips on your heels because the hands are forward of the shoulders. So what we are going to do is press the hands into the mat, reach the tailbone back so that you're starting to feel a stretch. I feel it in the shoulders and the armpit and also the spine. Now glide forward through table pose, drop the hips down. Lift the chin up. You can bend the elbows a little bit here if you like as we come into a modified cobra pose. It's modified because your pubic bone is up off the mat. Now press the hands into the mat and stretch the tailbone towards the back of the mat, just like we did before. Feel that lengthening of the spine. Now glide the hips forward, move through table pose, drop the hips down, lift the chin, and exhale, press it back. Last one. Lengthening the spine by pressing the hands into the mat, reaching the tailbone towards the heels, then glide the hips forward. And for this one, untuck your toes if they're tucked, straighten your elbows, and now see if you can bring your knees off the mat. This is upward dog. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, bring the knees to the mat. Now bring the knees apart so the knees come to the edges of the mat. Bring your big toes together. And now walk the hands back so that you can bring the hips all the way down to the heels in child's pose. Let your forehead rest on the mat in child's pose. 3 breaths. Breathe in and out. And twice more. Breathing in and breathing out. And one more. Nice exhale. Now rise. Bring the knees back so that they're right under the hips. And we come back to table pose. Let's open up the hips a little bit more. This time, pick that left knee up and point the left knee off to the left side of your space. And if you can, see if you can maybe even bring that left knee touching the left shoulder with the left knee. Now reach the left knee off to 90 degrees and then straighten the left leg so that you're pressing your left heel off 90 degrees to the left. It takes a lot of strength, but you can do it and feel that in the outside of the hip. Now swing the left leg all the way back and then press through the left heel. Reach the right hand forward as we come into table extension pose. Reach the fingertips forward. Now point the toes on the left foot and stretch. One more breath. Now bring elbow towards knee, round the spine. We're just going to do that once and then reach back out. Then bring the right hand down. Bring the left knee down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. One more time like that. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale to cat pose. Come back to a neutral spine and pick the right knee up. Point the right knee off to the right. It's important to press both palms into the mat. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. Notice how my knee is lifting up so it's about the same level as the hip on the right side. Now, if you can, keep pressing into both hands and straighten the right leg so that right heel presses off to the right. Lift the right leg up a little bit more so the right foot is level with the hip. And then swing the right leg back. Reach the left hand forward, table extension pose. Point the toes on the right foot and stretch. Reach with the fingertips on the left hand. One more breath, igniting the core. Now elbow comes to knee, rounding the spine, and reach it back out. And then bring the left hand down to the mat, along with the right knee. Walk the hands forward another couple inches. Tuck the toes and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Exhale, let the breath go. Do that one more time, a big deep breath. And let it go. As you inhale, reach the right leg up. Just keep the right leg straight. Keep the hips relatively level. Then step the right foot forward so the right foot ends up between the hands. Press back on your left heel. Now bring the left knee to the mat. Reach the arms up and overhead. We've come into a low crescent lunge. In Sanskrit, we call this pose Anjaneyasana. Reach up nice and high. As you exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers behind your back, press the knuckles towards the left heel, feel the shoulder blades come together. Keep your chin relatively level. You don't need to lift the chin up too high. Press the right knee forward a little bit more. Notice the sensations in the body. Release now, reach the arms back high, and then exhale the hands down on either side of the right foot. Tuck your toes and bring that left knee off the mat. Then step the right foot back so it meets the left foot. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, lift your hips high, finding our second downward facing dog. Reach or press the hands into the mat. Reach the tailbone towards the top of the back wall, the wall behind you at this time. On an inhale, reach your left leg high. Keep the leg straight. Then step the left foot all the way forward. We're just going to go over to the other side, doing the same thing we just did. Keep pressing back on that right heel so you feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of the right leg. Now bring the right knee down, reach the arms up and overhead. Come into our low crescent lunge on the second side. Press that left knee forward. Keep reaching up through the fingertips. Now bring the hands behind you. Can you interlace your fingers in the awkward way this time? So whichever thumb you had on top last time, other thumb is on top this time. Lift the hands up a little bit and then press the hands towards that right heel, pressing the left knee forward, feeling the shoulder blades come together. Keep your chin nice and level. Notice the sensations. I feel that at the top of my right thigh in the hip flexor muscles. You may feel it somewhere else. Release the hands now, reach them high. And then bring the hands down on either side of the left foot. Tuck the toes, bring the right knee off the mat, and then step the right foot forward so it meets the left foot. We're at a standing forward fold now at the front of the mat. Let your head drop down. 3 breaths. Breathe in and out. And in and out. One more big deep breath in. And let it go. Bring the arms out to a T now. Press into the front of your feet and slowly rise. Try and keep your spine long as you come up so that you really feel that in the back of the legs and the gluteal muscles. Once you're up, reach your arms high and then bring the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. On an inhale, reach back up, but keep the palms together. Lift your chin up, bring your thumbs down and press the thumbs into the bottom of the chin, into a back bend. Breathe. Now slowly rise back up, coming out, arms out to a T. Now swan dive to a forward fold. This time come to a half lift and bring your hands to the very top of your shins. So the heel of both hands is below the knee on the leg. Press the palms into the shins and reach the top of your head, the fontanelle that we were breathing into before, or breathing through, towards the front of the space so that you're lengthening your spine, reaching your tailbone back. Now bend the knees just a little bit and then hinge at the hips. Keep your spine long as you fold forward. Bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Keep the right foot forward. Step back with the left foot. We've come to a runner's lunge. Now press the right knee forward a little bit more so that you got about a 90 to be, ooh, it's hard talking this evening. A 90-degree bend in that right knee. Leave your left hand on the mat. Reach your right hand high. That right knee stays bent at 90 degrees. Relax the right hand a little bit and reach up through the right wrist. Now bring the right hand down. Bring the left knee down. Untuck the toes on the left foot and rise to our second low crescent lunge on this side. Press that right knee forward a little bit more. and begin to feel that nice stretch at the top of the left leg and the hip flexor muscles. Now bring the arms out to a T. Take a twist to the right. Bring the palms together and the left elbow to the right knee, joining the palms. Reach the right elbow up and overhead. Keep your head in a neutral position and try not to lift your chin away from your chest or bring the chin closer to the chest. One more breath. Now keep the palms together as you engage the core, pressing into the right foot. Come back to center. The hands are at heart center. Take a breath. Now reach the arms high and then bring them down on either side of the right foot. Tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. Leave the left hand on the mat. Reach the right hand up and overhead as we come into a second lunge twist on this side. Check in with your alignment. See if you have that right hand over the right shoulder over the left shoulder, and the left shoulder over the left hand. And bring the right hand down to the inside of the right foot. Move the left hand over a little bit so both hands are inside the right foot. Now, untuck the toes and bring the left knee to the mat. We're going to come towards lizard pose. For lizard pose, if you can, bring the elbows down to the mat. You may or may not be able to do that. If you can't, just bend the elbows as much as you can so that your chest comes down. But try and keep the spine long, so try not to round the spine very much. If you want, you can walk that left knee back just a little bit. I say it all the time, but just 1/8 of an inch in moving that left knee back will make a big difference in the way the pose feels. Now reach the head forward. The fontanelle comes forward as the toes on the left foot press back. Lizard pose. One more breath. Slowly walk back up onto the hands. Leave the left hand where it is. Bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot. So we're back to runner's lunge. Then step the right foot back to plank pose. Pause for a moment in plank. Press your hands into the mat so that your elbows straight and your shoulders lift up a little bit, but keep your gaze down so you're looking straight between the thumbs. One more breath as you feel the core ignite a bit. Now knees to the mat, chest and chin follows. Inchworm your way into cobra pose, lifting the heart up off the mat in cobra pose. Take a breath. And one more. Now release down. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Stretch it out. 2 more breaths in downward facing dog. Let the exhale help you lengthen the spine by pressing the hands into the mat. Notice the sensations in the back of the legs, particularly the calves. One more breath. On an inhale, reach the left leg up and then step it forward so the left foot ends up between the hands. Bring the right knee to the mat. Press into that left foot as you rise to our second low crescent lunge, our second Anjaneyasana on this side. Keep pressing the left knee forward. Reach up through the wrists, relax the hands a little bit. You don't need a lot of energy in the fingertips or the thumbs in this pose. Arms come out to a T now. Take a twist to the left and bring the right elbow to the left knee. Join the palms together into our twist. This is a prayer twist. And notice the alignment of the arms and that left leg. What we're working towards is left elbow over palms, palms over right elbow over the left knee, and left knee over the left heel. One more breath. Now press in that left foot. Keep your palms together. Come back to center. Take a breath. Now reach the arms high. And exhale the hands down on either side of the left foot. Toes tuck as you bring the right knee off the mat. We've come back to runner's lunge now. Right hand stays on the mat. Left hand reaches high. Stretch it up. Then bring the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Bring the right knee to the mat. Untuck the toes on the right foot. And lizard pose on our second side. Come down to the elbows if you are able to. And for your hands, you can either bring the palms together if you like, if that feels good, or you can press the palms into the mat. 2 more breaths in lizard pose. And one more. Slowly walk back up onto the hands. Tuck the toes, bring the right knee off the mat. Leave the right hand where it is, reach the left hand high. Then bring the left hand down to the outside of the left foot. Press back on that right heel. Now, step the left foot back to plank pose, 3 breaths in plank. Check in with your hips. You can look back if you want, although it's a little difficult to see. And make sure that your heels are aligned with your hips and your shoulders, and breathe. Keep pressing the hands into the mat. One more breath. Now, cobra pose, knees to the mat, chest and chin follows, inchworming into cobra pose, lifting the heart up off the mat. Now, pause here and press your heart forward. Make sure your pubic bone is in contact with the mat, and try not to lift the chin too high. So don't bunch up the skin on the back of the neck. One more breath. And release all the way down. Good work. Tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Big deep breath in. And let it go. Do that again. Big deep breath. And let it go. Now bend your knees. Bend them even a little bit more. Now we're going to take a hop forward. So hop the feet forward so they end up between the hands. Standing forward fold. Let your head drop down and breathe. 2 more breaths. Now take opposite elbows and press the elbows down towards the big toes. Then finish that last breath. Now press into the front of the feet and slowly rise. Try and keep your biceps on either side of your ears. Keep opposite elbows as you come up. Now reach the elbows high once you come all the way up and stretch the elbows up towards the sky. Bring the feet so they're about hip width apart, maybe just slightly more than that. Now, release the hands. And with the right hand, get a hold of the left wrist. Pull the left wrist to the right. Press your hips to the left. Most of the weight's coming into your left foot. Press the hips to the left a little bit more. And then slowly come back up. Core engages deeply. Press up through that left palm. Look up. And then switch hands. Left hand to the right wrist. Press the hips to the right. And pull that right wrist off to the left, bringing most of the weight into the right foot. Stretch it out. Now press through the right palm as you rise. And then release the hands. Bring them out to a T and to heart center. Let your eyes close. Enjoy 3 breaths in this standing posture. Breathing in. And breathing out. 2 more. And 1 more. With your hands still at heart center, hinge at the hips and slowly fold forward. You can bend your knees a little bit here if you like, but make sure the weight is in the front of the feet. Now bring your hands down to the mat. Then bring the left hand to the mat, bend the left knee, and reach the right hand up and overhead. Keep the spine long. This is a standing twist. The right hip will be up, elevated over the left hip. Keep reaching the right hand up as you press the left palm down. Then you know what to do. Bring the right hand down, bend the right knee, left leg is straight, reach the left hand high. Now bring the left hand down, come up on fingertips and bring both hands a little more than the foot, about 14 inches, maybe a little more than that even, in front of the left foot. So the hands are centered in front of the left foot. Then pick your right leg up, keep the right leg straight, press back through the right heel and lift that right heel up so that it is level with the hip on the right side. And you've created about a 90-degree angle between the legs. Now leave your left hand on the mat, and we're going to move into half moon pose. Before we do, press into the big toe on the left foot. Stay grounded in that whole left foot as you reach the arm, that right arm up and over hip. Now lengthen the whole body, pressing back through the right heel. And if you can, stack your right hip over your left hip, pressing the right heel back still. 1 more breath. If you want a little more out of the pose, you can reach the right hand forward so that the right hand is reaching in the opposite direction of the toes on the right foot. That's it. Bring the right hand down now. And then and now standing splits. Reach your right leg up. Let your forehead come down towards the shin of that left leg. Now bend the left knee. Take a big step back with your right foot. Come into runner's lunge. Left foot steps back to plank pose. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana as we move through a vinyasa into upward facing dog. Remember, in upward dog, the knees are off the mat if you can. The navel and the heart are pressing forward. The ears are rising. One more breath. Now, tuck the toes and then lift the hips into downward facing dog. Now bend the knees and take a hop forward, second one, so the feet end up between the hands. Bring the arms to a T, press into the front of the feet, and rise. Reach the arms high, and exhale the hands to heart center. Let your eyes gently close. Breathing in and breathing out. Take 2 more breaths as I reboot the camera. Don't know why it does that sometimes. Keep the hands at heart center, hinge at the hips, and fold forward. Spine stays long. This time, fingertips come to the mat, about 14 inches in front of that right foot. Now anchor into the whole right foot, the front of the foot, the back of the foot, the big toe, the pinky toe, the whole thing. Now pick the right or left foot up. Press back through that left heel. Toes point down initially. Left hand stays on the mat as we move into half moon pose, reaching the left hand up and overhead. Now press back through the left heel. Then if you want, you can point the toes on that left foot and reach the left hand high. Breathe. Now bring the left hand down. Reach the left leg up, standing splits. Forehead comes towards the shin of that right leg. Now bend the right knee and take a big step back with the left foot into runner's lunge. Right foot steps back to meet the left foot. We've come to plank pose. Take a deep breath. Now our second vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog. Keep breathing. Stay in the pose. One more breath. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. On an inhale, right leg rises. Now three-legged dog. Open the hips to the right. As you press that left heel down towards the mat, work on stacking the right hip over the left hip. Then level the hips off and right foot steps forward between the hands. Spin the left heel to the mat. Keep the right knee bent as you rise to warrior two. Now upward warrior, left hand comes down, right hand reaches straight up. So the right hand is over that right shoulder and the right knee is pressing straight forward. This is upward warrior pose. Lots of extension in the upper body. Now extended side angle, bring the elbow to the knee, reach with the left hand, press into the left foot. Now see if you can anchor into the pinky toe of the left foot a little bit more. So you're really deeply anchored. Rise back to warrior two, right knee stays straight, or stays bent rather. Now straighten the right leg, drop the left hand down, reach the right hand up and back as we come to a reverse triangle pose. Take a breath. Arms come out to a T. Press into the left foot, reach the right hand forward, pause. Now do that a little bit more. Press into the left foot, reach the right hand forward. Now triangle pose, Trikonasana. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches high. Relax the fingers on the left hand. Just reach through the left wrist. Breathe. 2 more breaths. And one more. Now bend the right knee. Bring the left hand down. The right hand comes down, so we're back to runner's lunge, and the ball of the left foot is on the mat, the left heel is off the mat. Step the right foot back to plank pose. Flow through our third vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Good work. On an inhale, left leg rises. Now three-legged dog, opening the hips to the left and working on stacking that left hip over the right hip. See if you can lift the left knee a little bit higher. Really stretch it up and out. Now level the hips and left foot steps forward between the hands. Spin the right heel to the mat and rise to warrior two on our second side. Left knee is pressing forward and the shoulders are pretty much right over the hips. See if you can anchor into the pinky toe of that right foot. Now upward warrior, right hand just drops down to the leg, left hand reaches high. Now relax the fingers and the thumb on the left hand. Reach up though, and then press the left knee forward a little bit more. Breathe. Now extended side angle, bring the elbow to the knee, reach with the right hand, press into that right foot, particularly the pinky toe of the right foot. Do you feel that stretch all along the right side body? Feel the fibers expanding and lengthening on the right side. Rise to warrior two. And then straighten the left leg, right hand drops down, left hand reaches up and back, reverse triangle pose. Now the arms come out to a T with the palms facing down, hands reach apart from one another. Take a breath. And let it go. Do that again. Take a big, deep breath. And let it go. Press into the right foot, reach the left hand forward, and then triangle pose. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches high. Spine is nice and long. Think about reaching the top of your head, the fontanelle, towards the front of the space that you're in. And at the same time, press that right hip back so you're lengthening the spine. One more breath. Now bring the right hand down, bend the left knee, come up onto the ball of the right foot. Left foot steps back to plank pose. Breathe in and out. Do that twice more. Big, deep breath. And one more time, staying in plank pose. And now vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward facing dog. One more breath here. And roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Big opportunity to stretch it out. Press your hands into the mat. Press your heels down towards the mat. Your heels may reach the mat as mine do, or they may be above. Don't worry about it. Either way, feel a stretch in the back of the legs. One more breath. Now slowly begin to walk the feet forward to the hands. This is about the journey. It's not about getting there quickly. It's just about feeling what it's like, the sensations in the body. As we walk forward, we're kind of a zombie walk, actually. I heard on the radio today, a psychologist saying people have a lot of zombie dreams during what we've been going through with the pandemic. Eventually come all the way forward into a standing forward fold. And then from there, bend your knees and rise to chair pose. Reach the arms high in chair. One more breath. Now the hands come to heart center. Straighten the legs. Now reach the arms out, palms facing down. Begin to bend the knees. Bend them a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe even a little more. Maybe even just a bit more. That's it. Bring the hands down behind you. Come to a seat. Reach the arms high. Now fold forward over both legs. This pose is called Paschimottanasana in Sanskrit. The fontanelle reaches towards the big toes. Get a hold of the feet or the ankles or the shins or the knees, whatever you can get a hold of, and pull the upper body towards the feet. So you feel that stretch in the back of the legs. If the sensation is too much, bend the knees a little bit. Maybe even bend the knees a lot if you like. Now fold over the thighs. So you feel your belly and your chest on your thighs. Now with chin on chest, round the spine to come up. And reach the arms high and palms together at heart center. Take a breath. Just let the breath flow out. One more breath. Now, bend the right knee and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Press your right knee down towards the mat. It may be up higher like this, or it may be down on the mat, whichever works for you. Now, reach the arms high, and then exhale and fold forward over that extended left leg. If you can, get a hold of the foot, again, or the ankle or the shin, and then pull the fontanelle towards the big toe on the left foot. So you're lengthening the spine, creating sensation again in the back of that left leg. Now release the hands from the foot or the leg, reach the fingertips forward, press into the back of the left heel as you rise, deep engagement in the core as you come up. And release, bring the hands down. Let's just go right over to the other side, bending the left knee, sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. I'll move over a little bit like this so you can see me. Then reach the arms up. Make sure your shoulders are square to the extended right leg. Now hinge at the hips and fold forward, bringing the forehead down towards the shin of that right leg. And get a hold of whatever you can get a hold of with your hands, the foot, the ankle, the shin, and pull your upper body so the fontanelle is reaching towards the big toe on the right foot. Now release the hands, reach the fingertips forward, press into the back of the right heel, and rise, coming back up, feeling the core engagement. And release, bring the hands down. Bring both legs out, and then bend the knees, about 90-degree bend in the knees. Bring the hands behind the knees, and then pick the heels up so that the heels are about the same level as the back of the knees. The spine's still long, so try not to round, try not to slouch into the pose. This is a supported half boat pose. It's a perfectly wonderful pose. Nothing wrong with it at all. We can change it out and make it a little bit more energetic by releasing the hands and reaching the hands forward. We can even bring the arms out to a T and then reach them up high. And exhale the hands down. Do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale and down. And one more time. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale and down. Now bring the hands back behind the knees. Now when you're ready, straighten your legs. This is a supported full boat pose. Elbows tucked in close to the thighs there. And if you want, you can move into a full boat pose, releasing the hands. If it feels good, flip the palms so they face up and breathe. 2 more breaths. Stay with it if you can. Notice where you're feeling sensation, but try not to become too attached to the sensation. Just notice it's there. Now bring the soles of the feet together and cup the hands on the outside of the feet, the pinky toe side. Keep the spine long. Pull the heels towards the pubic bone, opening up the hips. Release the hands now. Bring the feet down. And then come down to your back. Once you're on your back, reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose. We've been here before at the very beginning of our practice. This time I want you to anchor the sacrum, the little bony part of the spine above the tailbone. Anchor the sacrum down and at the same time press up through the feet. You can press into the palms at the same time. If you're happy, stay right where you are. If you'd like, you can move into plow pose by pressing the palms into the mat and bringing the toes up and overhead. You can tuck the toes now. You might even interlace the fingers behind your back and press the palms towards one another into plow pose. One more breath in plow. Those in plow, bring your hands to your low back. Lift your feet up so the feet are over the hips.
As we come into shoulder stand, if you were in legs up the wall and you want to move into a version of shoulder stand, feel free to do that. Those in shoulder stand, bend your legs, and then slowly come down to legs up the wall where we'll all meet. Once there, bend your knees and bring the soles of the feet so that the heels are right under the knees, and you can brush your fingertips on the heels. That tells you your feet are in the right position for bridge pose. Now press into the feet, lift the hips. The fingers can now be interlaced behind your back if you like, bringing the shoulder blades closer together on the back. 3 breaths. 2 more. And 1 more. And that's it. Let it go. Bring the tailbone down to the mat. Keep your head, the back of the head on the mat, but bring the knees in towards your chest. Now bring your arms out to a T, palms pressing down into the floor on either side of your mat. Now bring your knees to the right as we move into a gentle supine twist. Your gaze is to the left towards the extended left hand. Now press the right, or both knees rather, away from the left hand and reach the left hand away from the knees, deepening the twist. Press gently now into the right hand and slowly let the knees come back to center. And then over to the left side, your gaze is now to the right. Reach through the right hand, press the knees to the left, and now relax the back of the right shoulder a little bit. Just breathe. Now press into the left hand, let the knees come back to center, and then straighten the legs. Bring your arms down by your side, flip your palms. It's time for Shavasana. And let your eyes close down. Make whatever adjustments you might need to your body for Shavasana so that you can rest gently in the pose without the need for any more movement. Shavasana is a place where we can integrate all that the body has done, all that it's learned from the movement that we just did. And we do that just by letting go, by surrendering into our mat, letting go of the need to do anything at all. Come back to your breath and feel the breath flowing in and out through the nostrils. Feel the coolness at the base of the nose as you breathe in. Imagine your body flowing, or your breath rather, flowing through the body. And then feel the breath exiting, somewhat warmed through both nostrils. Do that 3 more times. Breathing in through the nose, feeling the coolness, visualizing the breath as it moves through the body, and then exhaling the warmth. 1 more time, breathing in, and let it go. Now just rest. I know it can be difficult, but let go of the need to think or to plan or to imagine. Just let your head empty of all thoughts, all sensations, all emotions. And just for a moment or two, just surrender into whatever experience you had for the last hour. It doesn't have to be long, just a few seconds, just to let go.
Now allow your breath to deepen. Lengthen the breath intentionally. So you're breathing in at least 5 counts and breathing out the same. But don't force it, don't strain. Just let the breath softly lengthen. Now prepare for a long inhale. Go ahead now, inhale. Now open your mouth and big open mouth exhale. Do that again. Big, long, deep inhale. And let it go. Now begin to bend your knees and then roll to your side. Try and keep the eyes closed. And just pay attention to the experience of resting on your side with your eyes closed, your knees bent, and your head cradled in your arm. Let the breath return to its natural rhythm, whatever that is for you today. Now slowly bring yourself to a seat. And once you're seated, join me by bringing your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, pressing the palms together. Now, as you breathe in, let your spine lengthen, draw the navel in, feel the ears coming up, then just let the breath go. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure guiding you through our Vinyasa Yoga class. I offer you, as I always do, loving kindness. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful. And may you be at ease. Namaste.